We are YouTube Live!
Welcome to the Prospectors Radio Show, the talk show for our community. Please welcome Rich Cooley, Indiana Gold Hunter Dennis Dayton, Kathleen Biffle, and your host, Tim Grimes.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another edition of Prospector Radio. I'm your host, Tim Grimes. Joining me tonight, we got Rich Cooley's here, the Indiana Gold Hunter Dennis Dayton, and we have a very special guest with us who just went to get something to drink, Mr. Kevin Hoagland. What's happening, you guys?
Not much.
Oh, trying to enjoy all this snow we're getting and more's coming on the way.
I know.
No snow and more snow.
Too much snow. Snow, and snow. There's Kevin.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's all right. So you go get you something to drink. You okay now?
I did. I have my unmarked bottle now.
Oh, look at you. Dennis don't. He just flings it up there.
Till somebody no, never mind. We can go down that road.
Right. It's Dennis. It's all good. What's been going on, Kevin?
Everything. This has been one of those. I don't even know when was the last time I was on. I mean, it was during COVID and everything else. And
was it, or was it before COVID?
No, it was during COVID. I remember that because I was getting a little pissy about having to be dealing with a lot of these things. Well, I mean, look, gold is up. People are getting out. More and more people are getting out. And even with, and I'm not, and I don't know, I really don't want to get into the political side of anything or anything else like that. But it even seems that even with all the change and all the things that are going on, more and more people are coming into prospecting, not just the GPAA, but just coming into gold prospecting,
right? As
something to do, as something to get their mind off of everything. Subsidizing incomes, you know all the reasons. So I think that I have been busier in the last 5 or 6 months in working with brand new people that are just coming into prospecting and doing more and more teaching than I've done in years. And I'm loving every minute of it. It's like getting back to the old days.
Oh, see, that's awesome. So you've been staying pretty busy then lately.
Yes, I have.
Oh, not only has he been staying pretty busy, Tim, but I was like, man, I'm gonna have to get Kevin's autograph. I saw him in an episode with Fred.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Yeah, Dennis, I had my own television show. I'll give you an autograph anyway.
But this with the History Channel or the Discovery Channel, whatever it is now, I'm like, oh man, you stepped up. Now I know why you're peeling the labels off your Pepsi bottles. I get it now. You got sponsorship money now. I get it.
Is that it?
Oh, I honestly I didn't. It's like anything else. You go out and somebody asks you to shoot a segment or something like that, and I have little parameters that I have to set. It's like got to mention the GPAA, and other than that, I don't care. Let's just make it happen. Right. And it's so funny to me because I didn't even know when that episode aired. I had no idea about it being out there. I really wasn't following it. I did that a while back and then just moved on. Because there's a lot of stuff that I do like that for a lot of different shows and just more like sometimes I end up they take some of it, they use it as a TA information and just move on from there. It doesn't bother me at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I got a kick out of it because watching that little segment, that was about 45 minutes of the total shoot time, and there was about 6.5, 7 minutes of just history and content and the whole 9 yards and looking at everything. And when I watched it, it was like, wow, you know what? This is really great, but it missed so much of the context of what it really is. And, to turn it into, well, do you think we have a good claim and we can make gold here?
Yeah.
You would laugh because when that was watching, I woke my wife up. She was already asleep when I was watching it. And as soon as you come on, I hollered, Paula, I said, come here. What? I woke her. I said, look at it. I said, Kevin's really struck it, hit it, big now, struck gold. And I woke her up and I said, look, Kevin's on the.
He's on Discovery Network.
Yeah,
Great,
man, he struck it rich.
Okay, let's forget about me having my own show. You do know that I started back in 2005 with the Travel Channel.
Oh yeah,
You know?
right. That's right. That's
Yeah.
kind of part of Discovery too, ain't it? Travel Channel.
Yeah.
I thought so. Yeah, they're kind of connected. I guess it's been a long time. We just kind of forgot.
I know. It's, and you know what? It's fine. If I can help and do different things. And I went up to Northern Nevada, around the first part of November to work with a group of people on a couple of things that they were working with as well. And it was a blast. And whether they take everything that we shot and they insert it in, or whether they take the information, because I always do the transcripts afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that I did, they've got the full transcript. So I don't care. I don't care if they get 5 people that just use it and just work on it from there.
It's always
look, it just showed up.
Yeah, Mr. Scott.
Yeah, Swifty.
I told you he'd just pop in like, oh.
Hey, I've been here for a minute. I just ain't said nothing.
I've been here for a minute. I know you started a half an hour.
Living on Swiftwater time. That doesn't quite work.
I've been busy.
Okay.
Dude, you need to shave. Holy crap. What is that?
What?
It's the Todd Hoffman look.
That's my hula dancer.
Dude, that ain't right. That's funny, but it ain't right.
It ain't, Scott. Well, we're glad you made it, Scott. Thank you for coming tonight.
Well, like I said, I was doing some stuff. And what's funny is because I messaged you guys earlier, but I didn't actually push send, so it didn't work.
Uh-huh.
Well, I was in a hurry.
I did not with you.
Yeah, right. I think
You were getting in a hurry.
we all was doing stuff before it was showtime, but
You
you
cannot believe it. It's
Yeah, dude, I was out finding gold. What were you doing? What were you doing before showtime?
Well, I'm sitting here trying to get gravel ordered for my whole front yard. I'm trying to get 2 barns built here in the back, on the side of my house right now to get them in here for my office for gold digging and stuff like that. The garage. I'm trying to get everything in the back 40 here, like windrow stuff for animal habitat. Yeah, there's a lot more stuff. It's been wet, so I can't do anything. So,
But I went and found gold before I got here.
Oh, I got gold
Today?
Yeah, I actually cleaned out my stuff that I had for the last 3 days before I dry wash.
Good. Oh yeah, it's a little tough to dry wash in Arizona right now.
Yes, it is.
Did you do the video?
No, I didn't get a chance to. We were out here today, and Lisa wanted it cleaned up and want everything out of the way, kind of thing. She wanted to see where she was at, and I'm like, all right, look, clean it up. But I tell you, it's going to be better than what you think it is. And
Okay.
well, it was.
Okay. All right. All right, Scott. Well, we'll get.
I'm just saying, it is what it
I
is.
know you're just saying. It's what
I mean, you can't lie about it. Either the gold's there or it's not. You really can't fib nobody. Like, oh, this is great. She knows what it looks like.
Uh-huh.
Like she says, you take a gold miner when they say, I found 2 grams. She goes minus that by half, and that's what they really found.
Wow, I just about got a soda all over my camera.
That would actually have been kind of funny, Kevin.
Well, she's kind of seasoned, so she's been around people.
I'm saying.
Oh.
Well, anyhow, Scott, Kevin is with us tonight, just in case you're just tuning in. And Kevin was out looking for gold earlier. He's done a TV show recently. Did you miss it?
I did see him on that show, by the way.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I thought it was hilarious.
It was hilarious. Why?
Oh, because you gotta understand. I'm sitting here watching the people that I've actually kind of seen these people and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, poof! There's Kevin Hoagland in the middle of the show. I'm like, really?
That's cool though when that happens. So
Yeah, it was.
actually, it is because I was the same way. I was watching it and I was like, "Hey, let's go."
Yeah, like I said, I didn't even know it aired until well, Fred had called me and told me that Fred Dickinson had called me and told me that it was going on something like Discovery Go or something like that, which I don't even know what Discovery Go is. And then,
yeah,
and I guess it's the streaming version for that.
right.
But you know what? Hey, I got to do this right now because I understand that I was getting beat up a little bit
What
on the last show. So,
oh,
here we go.
look at you.
Look at me.
Wearing black makes it appeal slimmer.
Side view.
All right, no, that's better. Okay,
Hey, he has lost some weight.
you have,
A
man.
lot.
Well, yeah, I'd lost a lot of weight.
Way to go,
I'd
Kevin.
lost a lot of weight, and then I got COVID fat, and then
That's cool.
I decided that I didn't want to be COVID fat anymore, so I dropped 54 pounds again.
Way to go.
Holy cow, dude,
Good job.
that's a lot. Yeah, I can-
Very nice,
difference.
Kevin. Yeah, see, you're getting out.
Well, if you're going to be a metal detectorist, you ain't going to be walking over those hills.
You know.
Getting out there.
Oh, dude, I'm actually surprised that I've done some of the things I've done. A few years ago when I was really, really heavy, when I was at 320, 330, still out there, just going.
Three what?
I was at 330.
Wow.
I don't remember
was-
you being that big.
Oh yeah. I was probably
Wow.
2 of you.
Well, I reckon you might be right on that part. But
Oh,
Bet that helps with the blood pressure too.
Yeah.
blood pressure is way down again. Look, I got really healthy a year and a half, 2 years ago. I'm getting back there. I'm not slowing down. I'm not stopping. I'm rolling up on 60 this year. I'm loving it. I've got nowhere to go but up.
All right.
Just having fun.
You're doing good. Yeah.
Yeah.
you know what? I don't know if you already said this or anything, but what's your big game right now? What are you into? What are you doing?
To what?
Like, are you doing some your own videos? Are you just out like actually hunting gold? Or are you just doing
Right now, I'm doing a lot of teaching and a lot of training. As I think right before you dropped in, is that I was talking about over the last, since COVID, that there has been so many people coming into the prospecting and prospecting and mining industry, and so many brand new people, and a lot of people that were in that went out and now they're coming back in.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been spending a lot of time doing a lot of training, talking, just spending hours upon hours on the phone doing like Zoom meetings like this and working with small groups and different things. I am out shooting a lot of video, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it together as like the new series of Gold Trails, however that works out, and then once I have all of those done and I've got everything taken care of, then I'll just start dropping those in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at probably just YouTube and maybe a couple of other outlets that I've been studying and looking at. But right now, I'm just, I'm doing what I love, and that's working with people and helping people.
Right. Yeah.
So
You do enjoy that. You do that well. So it's like, why
yeah.
not? Now,
I put something. I changed the marker on my Facebook a couple of months ago that just said if you told me tomorrow I couldn't go prospecting anymore ever, but all I could do is help other people learn, I'd be okay with that, and I would be.
that's
I
cool.
would be.
See,
No.
Go, Kevin.
But there is one other thing, and I'm not really going to drop it, but for all of you guys of the GPA members, when you get your magazine, you'll actually see the other thing that I've been up to.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Next magazine.
What, Kevin?
March, April.
March, April.
Yeah, March, April.
Maybe March, April.
Yeah, Jan Feb's already out, so it'll be March, April.
Yeah, I guess I already got my February,
So what has Kevin
like a week
been
ago.
up
A couple
to?
weeks.
I mean, I give you the big, I'll give you the big hint.
Okay.
In the early '90s, one of my old prospecting buddies that was starting to get some real age on him, and had been here all of his life. He handed me this whole stack of paperwork and all sorts of other things of something that he'd been chasing for 40 or 50 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he turned it all over to me and asked me if I would pick it up. And I told him I would, but I made it really clear that I really didn't believe in what he was, what it was out there about. Because, like treasures, when a lot of people, when you start reading about these really big treasures, I think a lot of those
You
have
mean like
already been,
Oak Island?
yeah, like things like that, things like that have already been found, or things like that, if they existed, or somebody just said, you know what, when you get to the blue cactus, turn right, and when you get to the blue cactus, you turn left. That's those things like that. But I think I got onto something. So
cool.
Yeah.
I think I kind of maybe have a slim idea, so I'll just keep it to myself. So that'll be cool though, Kevin.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. Oh wait, do you like Oak Island, Kevin?
I've never watched it. I'm sorry.
I like it.
You've never watched it?
No.
And see, they thought I was crazy.
Guys, I'm sorry. I don't know. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I've watched an episode of it.
Uh-huh.
And then would I watch it? I don't even know how to find it anymore, because I cut the cable. I've got Amazon Prime and Netflix, and that's really about it. I really don't. I don't watch enough TV to really miss anything or wonder about anything. But hence why I haven't even seen that episode of
Mine Rescue.
Thank you. Whatever the hell it was I was on.
That's bad.
You know what?
Man,
I actually did get to see the first one because it was actually on Discovery Channel, but I guess they moved it to Discovery Plus.
Right. They just gave us
a
sneak peek of the show by giving that one episode. Luckily, it was the one with Kevin in it. And now it's on Discovery Plus that you got to pay for it. And it's like, I ain't paying for no.
Yeah, I got rid of everything Amazon. I cut my Amazon Prime account. I cut all of it. I don't order from Amazon. I'm done with Amazon.
I don't know. That's a whole nother show right there.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, you can buy just about every type of prospecting equipment on Amazon now.
Pretty much.
Well,
you can buy pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Look, it's your one.
Scott could have probably ordered his gravel off of Amazon.
I bet he could have ordered them barns and them garages.
Well, no, these went right to the company. They're not on Amazon.
Yeah.
These are Arizona companies. These are local companies that I know that are here, and that's who I'm.
We're just saying you probably could have.
No.
I bet if we look it up, you could probably order gravel.
Well, I'm telling you, they're local and they're not on Amazon.
Okay. All right, Scott.
Just saying, it's wrong.
Man, I think we kind of prodded the bear right there a little bit.
Kind of seems like it's a local company.
Well, yeah, I keep local. You keep your local guys working, and hey, if it's you and your community, that's what you do.
There you go, Scott.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, if I got to get something ordered out of Taiwan, I guess I'd go to Amazon.
Well, you didn't even order your Squircle off Amazon. You ordered that direct from China.
Oh, that wasn't from China. It was from Australia.
Well, it wasn't from Amazon, or you would have had it in 3 days.
That's what I said. I was going to do Australia, but they probably could have got it from via China. I don't know.
Right, where it was coming from.
But it never come in, and I got my credit card back, and I'm good. So
via China through Australia, straight
to
Scott.
It is how it is.
Squircle.
Got to go through the channels of life.
Yeah, you do. When you want that fancy diving equipment called the Squircle.
No, I just wanted something cheap and easy for 5 minutes.
Cheap and easy for 5 minutes. Use a balloon.
I was gonna say, you ever thought about a garden hose in the inner tube?
Okay, now wait a minute. Number one, yeah, I've thought about that, but you got to remember when you're breathing out, you're putting carbon dioxide in the hose. And when you breathe back in, you're sucking back in half carbon dioxide with half oxygen. Eventually, it's going to be all what you're breathing out. You're not going to make it too far. You can't be science. I'm just saying.
Nitrogen.
Nitrogen. That's right. Nitrogen.
Oh,
yep. That's
well, Scott, I got to tell you, I do know a guy that absolutely refused to buy gear, and he had an old CPAP mask, one of the nasal masks.
mm-hmm.
He put a nasal mask on it, hung some like that flexi, like what you have on like for a camel or something like that, that gives you that flex line to the pump. And I swear to God, he used that as his snorkel. He just breathing in through that, breathing out through his mouth, in through that, out through his mouth.
Really?
Yeah, did the whole thing for about, I don't know, 65 cents. Little, those green foam blocks that you have that the florists use.
Yeah.
That they stick. He stuck that hose through that foam block.
Okay.
So it was sitting on the water
And float. Yeah.
and he had just that hose going down into this old nasal mask for CPAP nasal mask that he managed to seal up. Yeah, he said he was in it about $1.65, and I'm thinking, how much is your labor worth? I'm sure that he spent like 20 hours coming up with that thing.
It actually sounds like a pretty good idea.
It is. I mean, it's funny as hell. So,
Yeah. I mean, how much air do you really need?
Enough to live, just enough to live.
Right.
I mean, and to what Scott was saying, that's absolutely true. But there's nothing like that moment between having oxygen and going into just like the pure CO2 thing. The hallucinations in that one, like that 12-second period are just phenomenal.
Yeah, when you're like, well, these stars are really cool.
Yeah.
That's the same thing. I always heard that if you go down a mine, you start seeing stars, you better turn around. I'm like, well, if I got to turn around, I'm already too far.
Yeah, exactly. Do you carry a rescue air with you?
Where?
When you go down to the mines?
Not diving.
No. When you go into the mines.
If I go into there, you know what? I'm an odd, peculiar guy. I always
Gotta go in mine.
if there's a mine, that was Lisa. But no, if there's a mine that I look at, like if I go in the mouth of it and I see like really like dirty floors, there are rocks everywhere, I don't go in those mines.
Exactly.
I refuse to do it. I know better. If I see a mine that you go in, it's like clean floor and you walk about 20 feet and it's still clean, keep walking because everything's pretty much sound. But to get me in a mine, you know what? You go underground, I'm all for it. I know it's gold's there, but you get one chance, and poof, and you're done. You don't get, it's not like placer mining when something caves in. You can actually, if you're on your knees, you could dig your way out, or you can stand up or something. You don't get that chance. It's just
right.
So I just don't like to put myself in that position to get caught like that.
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
No, and I absolutely agree with that. And I do spend a lot of time going back into old undergrounds and things like that. But for me, it's and I don't recommend it for anybody, but my God, I've been doing it for years and years and years, and I've got all these safety precautions and everything else. I guess it's a long way around the cup to get back to the handle saying, look, if you don't know what you're doing, don't go in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
But I carry it's a little air tank about that tall, about that big around. That's just got the mouthpiece to it. It's about 4 to 6 minutes of air, depending upon how panicky you are.
Sounds like a squircle.
Exactly, it is.
Right. Yeah. Just a little.
Pump it up with the bicycle hoof.
How do you put air in it, Kevin?
You just change out the canister
Oh, okay. It's got
if you ever have to use it. I mean, it's when if you have to use it, it's an emergency type thing. You rip the top off, shove the mouthpiece in. It's like a football mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Shove it in, hit the button, and you start getting air. It's a regulated air depending upon how you're breathing, but they don't last for very long. And I've used one of them in all my years.
Enough to get you out of the mess you're in.
Yeah, at least 50 feet out.
That's good.
Now, I've seen crazy people that want to go in mines. And I had one guy, this is per se a story a long time ago, but back when I was in quartzsite, you know what? The people's like, oh, you know about gold? I'm like, well, yeah, I know about gold. I've been doing it for quite some time. Here in Arizona, it's about the same, but a little bit different because you got to find the washes and stuff it's in.
Right.
And these guys want to know about mines. I'm like, well, I'll go show you gold mines. And I told him, I said, but you can't go in them. Just think about that before, because you got to look at what you're doing. And it's like the second one that I took this guy to, and I was explaining to him between what a mine was and a coyote hole.
Sure.
And when I showed him a coyote hole, this guy went, I didn't even get done with what I was telling him. He went belly deep into this coyote hole, which, number one, a pack rat already put cholas all across the front so nobody could get in it. This guy dove into this stuff, and he's like, he's yelling. I'm like, I told you not to go in those things. He come up, dude, he looked like he had a chest plate of nothing but cholas in him. His wife was laughing her butt off. I was like, dude, what are you doing? It was unreal. I mean, people really want to go into mines, but man, you got to think about it. Don't do it if you don't know what you're doing.
Right. Yeah, I mean, my last mine entry was 9 days before I ever went in. It was testing air, doing air samples, doing this. When I got back into a certain point where I knew it was good, I disturbed the water and pulled a water sample, brought it back out, tested it.
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't think about is they go bouncing into a mine, they walk through the water, and that
explain mucky water.
Yep. And they break off that surface tension, and you've got that gas that comes up and everything else that's in there. Yeah, you know what? Just stay the hell out of mines. Don't go in mines. Kids, whatever you do.
Yeah.
Don't do drugs. Do your homework. Stay in school, and don't go into mine shafts.
Yeah, because it doesn't take much water to do the same thing.
Yep.
Once you make that wall, you can't get back out.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, screw that. No mines. None.
No, it's a scary thing to me. Like I said, you only get one chance, and if you actually make that one chance because you're a fool, you're gonna be there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Somebody's got to go in there and dig you back out, and it's not gonna be happy.
Yeah.
Didn't they rescue a bunch of miners in Japan or China or something like that over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, was it like last week? I think it was. Yeah.
Is that even on the news? Because I haven't even heard about it.
I seen it on Facebook.
Oh God, then we know it's true.
Yeah.
We absolutely know it's true.
No, I mean, I didn't hear anything about it.
That was where I seen it. I'm like, it's on Facebook. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it popped up on one of my on my phone on Apple News or something like that. I'm not even sure.
Yeah, I just heard they rescued a bunch of them, got them out and stuff. And
Isn't that like the third one in 2 years?
It seems to be a lot down that way.
I'm thinking so.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe they don't have an OSHA group.
Maybe not. Maybe.
Oh,
wow. Wow. OSHA. Okay.
Yeah.
Come on. You know the last thing you want to hear is a T on the end of that one.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think that was in China.
It was in China.
It says 9 Chinese miners have been found dead.
Oh.
Day after 11 of the colleagues were rescued after 2 weeks trapped in a gold mine in Shandong province.
Yeah, they got 11 out, right? I didn't know 9 of them were dead.
So it was a total cave-in.
They were trapped for 2
Yeah,
weeks.
the entrance to the tunnel collapsed.
Oh wow.
Wow.
The entrance?
What it says. It says the entrance to the tunnel collapsed after a blast on January 10th.
Ah,
Wow.
only been
That's
one
scary.
way in, one way out.
Yeah.
You got to think about that. The entrance caved in
Yeah.
with a blast far in the cave.
Mhm.
Right. Well, unless it was, I mean, unless they were just now starting to dig it and they were only 100 feet in, but
Yeah, right.
still, it doesn't matter. What the hell? I mean, you shore up your entry, you shore up your attic no matter what.
You would think.
Oh, all right. Next.
Yeah, not my circus, not my monkeys.
That's
Exactly.
That's funny. That is bad.
Hey, I got about 24 of those stickers coming in
What?
of a monkey with a top hat
Uh-huh.
standing on an elephant's back saying, "Not my circus, not my monkeys."
Oh, really? I want one.
when they finally, I'm not going to say where they're coming from because Scott will get all pissed off, but you know, obviously they're not local. But
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, Kevin, what's going on with like gold shows this year? Any news on anything?
Nothing yet. We've made the decision for the GPA. We've made the decision that we are just not going to have gold shows this year. There's too many things up in the air. We don't know. And the folks, like some of the chapters, are supporting some of the local shows, or they're doing these little shows.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the chapters are actually trying to put together their own little events. Now, there are some gold shows that are going on.
All right.
There's across in different areas, smaller ones, smaller venues, different things. But right now, look, I mean, Arizona's out of control again. Arizona's completely out of control. And if you see what the numbers are and things like that and everything else, it's just
it's just believing the numbers.
You know what, Scott? I'm not gonna get down this rabbit hole. I'm really not. But I've had way too many good friends that I've gone to their virtual funerals on.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah, and they were healthy people.
Yeah,
they were healthy people. So, do I believe the numbers? No, I don't necessarily believe the numbers. But I've got a friend of mine that works in critical care, and I mean, when you have 30 people one day, they're fine, and then 10 days later, 2/3 of them are in a COVID unit.
Yeah,
so
it's crazy.
It's crazy. To me, it's and the thing is I actually echo what Scott just said: is don't believe the numbers,
right?
Because I really don't. The unfortunate thing is I'm just watching. I'm seeing way too much of it. It's stupid.
You believe what it can do to people.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Are the numbers inflated? Do they make shit up? Pardon me. Sorry.
Probably. Oh, it's all right. Scott does it all the time. He says much worse.
Yeah.
I made one slip. Come on.
Hey, much worse.
Every week, one slip. Every week.
Well, I've made my one slip for the week, but
you're good.
No. So back to the gold shows. Yeah, we're really supporting some of these folks that are doing some of these gold shows, but for us, given what our standard attendance is as a gold show, and the venues that we've been talking to, that we've been into, they're still saying that they have to regulate it. They're not going to allow more than X amount of people in, and so on like that. And quite frankly, if I told Scott, I want you to bring your store, all of your products that you sell, and you're going to have a booth at a gold show. Oh, and by the way, they're only going to let 50 people in at a time.
Right.
And until somebody leaves, nobody else can come in.
Yeah.
And you're going to travel 500 miles to do that. I look at it from the vendor standpoint as well. It's not.
Oh, sure.
Kind of rough.
No.
Kind of rough.
You'd have. I think you probably have more of your local vendors trying to do it, but you wouldn't get the far away guys that we usually have at the GPA shows. So.
Right.
No way.
And quite frankly, one of the venues that we were going to do what we were planning on doing is we were going to pick up where we left off and then just kind of move forward. So we had done the Phoenix show, we'd done New Mexico, so on like that.
Mhm.
And the next show was Sacramento. Well, the venue in Sacramento doesn't even exist anymore. It went out of business.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. And then other places they're just so limited on what they can bring in. And quite frankly, there's still a lot of fear out there.
Oh,
That's really bad. Sacramento.
Yeah.
Where you had to record all your claims. Now you can't have a gold show there. That's
Well, no, it's just that venue. The venue went out of business.
oh.
Now, there's other venues around there, but the one that we were looking at, the one that we'd actually leased and everything for that particular show, they just when everything happened, they just couldn't survive by not having. There was a lot of shows. I mean, they were back to back shows, and when everybody started canceling, they just couldn't make it.
Oh, I got you.
If they come back, they come back. If they don't, it's tough. I mean, it's really tough. So,
right. That's the thing. It makes it rough.
yeah.
So,
So people are even with the shows, even with us canceling shows and not doing this, people are still going out. People are out there. They're prospecting. They're doing things. When I went out the last time I was out driving around and going out to another spot, I ran across, I don't know, probably 20 people
really?
that were new members of the GPAA or just out trying to figure out what prospecting was all about.
Uh-huh.
Having a blast.
Yeah, like you said, it's something they can do and still social distance and have fun, be outside.
Hey, did you do it like the old buzzer used to do it?
I'm sorry?
I said, did you do it like the old buzzer used to do it? That ain't the way. Give me the shovel.
No. Almost all these folks were out detecting.
Oh,
And there were a couple that were shoveling. There's one guy in a wash, and he was just shoveling it away in the wash, and I was just looking at him, and I was like, dude, I hate to tell you this, but it's like 30 feet to bedrock.
So you've been out and about a lot, right? And seeing what is metal detecting on a high? Is sluice boxing on a high or recirculating on a high? You see anything that's making a high bench right now?
Everything, in California, let's go with California. I'm seeing more and more and talking to more and more people that are buying sluice boxes and really, really learning about sluicing because there's no regulation against sluicing.
okay.
You can go down to any water stream that there is, as long as it's hands and pans and so on like that, and it's not in a wilderness. A lot of people believe that California is closed. No, dredging is closed. Pulling water out of a stream is closed, but going down and setting up a sluice box, absolutely, knock yourself out. And I've got a friend of mine. Well, actually, Kevin Bell. You've had him on the show before.
Uh-huh.
Kevin goes out. They've got a couple of spots out there. They play around in a couple of these different places on a Thursday. They're mining Thursday, and they come back with close to a gram, just not really doing much of anything. Running a sluice box and playing around, and it's. I think they're more socializing than anything else.
Right. Yeah.
So,
which is part of it.
I'd still go nuts.
What? You'd go nuts what?
but detecting, to finish that out, detecting, I'm going to say that detecting is really at an all-time high. I mean, I've got friends of mine that are dealers for different manufacturers, and of course, I've been talking to a couple of my friends with Mine Lab, and it's just they're buried.
Really?
They're buried ever since it all started, and of course, there's a lot of stuff going on around the world, but with just domestically, it's crazy.
I actually wondered that because I've ran into 5 people this week that's going out metal detecting. I'm like, where are you going to go? I'm going to go right over there. I'm like, you're going to find a whole lot of bullets, but okay.
Hey, Kevin,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Speaking of detecting, what do you know about this new detector Mine Lab coming out with? I saw this short commercial about. something about an all gold mode or
What?
Oh no. I know what you're talking about. It's funny. One of the worst kept secrets of Mind Lab is always any new detector that they're going to come out with. And then one of the best kept secrets is after it's out, finding out anything else about it until it's that time. Well, I mean, they had different launches all around the world, but on January 15th, there was a meeting it was a virtual meeting for United States dealers and I think Europe. I don't even know who all was in there, but it was thousands of people and thousands of dealers. They did announce the new GPX 6000 during that meeting. And they talked about it a little bit and then they sent out that paperwork and so on like that. Debbie was at the RV show a week or so ago, and she had one with her, and she was actually able to show it to people. And I know a lot of dealers that drove down there to that RV show to be able to take a look at it, but nobody's allowed to take pictures of it or this or that or whatever. It's the one thing I do know that I've been able to really ascertain that I think it's not a problem to say is that when the rumor first started out, everybody was talking about this was going to be like a hopped up GPX 5000. And what I've read and what I've been able to learn is that it's not. It's really a different class. So it's going to have more sensitivity than some of the small, some of the on the lower line. Of course, nothing's going to have the depth of the GPZ 7000, but I don't know. I wish I knew more about it. I wish I knew really where they were positioning it, but I don't think it's really going to. I don't think it's going to eliminate everything here, and I don't think it's going to eliminate everything up there. It is a new type of machine. And Dennis, what you were saying is it's what they're saying. I think what they had on that brochure is all gold, all soils, all the time is the way that they were listing it, because this new technology is what they were saying about geosense. The way that works is it's just, I don't know. I mean, I can't tell you anything about it because none of the dealers have any real information on it. I know that there was some stuff that was floating around where there was a lot of I heard like a 30 or 40 page document that talked about the machine and this and that and everything else. And when I asked about that, I found out that was for a machine that never comes to this continent. It's a different. I don't know if it's a different machine or what it is, but it's not really the specs from what I understand of what they're going to have here. I don't know. I wish I knew more. I hate not knowing, because if this machine positions where I hope it positions, believe me, I will be one of the first ones clamoring to get their hands on it.
Well,
and
I'm just saying, you know Debbie pretty well, right?
Yeah.
Was there any way we could have you as a honorary Colony Club member bring her on the show and just have us give it a little teaser?
I bet when
Maybe
I
tell us
bet
what's
that
about.
I bet that won't be a problem when you guys talk amongst yourself for a minute.
Oh, geez.
You get what you asked for.
Well, here, let's just take a commercial break.
Hey, dude, yeah, go ahead. I forgot. I didn't know if you guys did that or yet. I come in late. It was my fault. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of stuff. So,
yeah, no, we didn't do that yet. Let's go to commercial, and we'll be right back
commercial
after these messages. Okay.
roll that beam footage.
Do you like to mine for gold? Enjoy prospecting a nice crack in the bedrock? Enjoy getting outdoors to camp, fish, hunt, and hike on your public lands? You plan your trip, load the gear, grab the dog, put the family in the truck, and drive off to a locked gate. A sign says you cannot enter or access your own public lands. Mining claims and public land owned by we the people are being designated as off limits by our own government every single day. Are you concerned about the direction our government is going? Are you tired of seeing no access, no entry signs on your lands? We are, and we are fighting back. We are AMRA, America Mining Rights Association, the fastest growing small mining advocacy association in America. AMRA is a 501c3 not-for-profit formed by miners, hunters, off-roaders, retired military men and women to stop the insanity. AMRA was formed to educate, unite, and help the small miners and public land users on their rights given to us by God. Do you want access to great mining claims? For a small tax-deductible donation to their Miners Legal Fund, your family gains access to proven excellent mining claims across America for an entire year. AMRA challenges the USFS, BLM, EPA, and the other agencies intent upon stopping you from enjoying your own lands. You are who pays these people's wages. It is time they listen to us. We need to unite. And that is what AMRA is doing. As you sit here right now, thousands of acres of public lands are being closed, locked, and blocked from use by you. Are you fed up yet? Join us. Get in on this fight and let's restore America to what our families fought and died for. Freedom. Just visit AmericanMiningRights.com. AmericanMiningRights.com. Also, check us out on Facebook at American Mining Rights Association. AmericanMiningRights.com.
In 1858, gold was discovered in the rivers of New Caledonia. This discovery would spark a massive gold rush. Today, the search for gold is much easier, yet still challenging with Dirt Hog Pay Dirt. At Dirt Hog, we pride ourselves on our gold and guaranteed gold amounts. Just visit DirtHogPayDirt.com today and buy yourself a bag of the best pay dirt concentrates on the market. Order with confidence in Canada and North America. DirtHogPayDirt.com, the best gold concentrates on the market, period. Also, be sure to check out our Honest Bonus program.
If you're interested in gold prospecting or treasure hunting as a career, hobby, passion, or just something you're interested in getting into, you have to visit goldprospectorspace.com. At goldprospectorspace.com, you'll find forums, chats, videos, blogs, sections on dry washing, metal detecting, high banking, and so much more. At goldprospectorspace.com. There's a store, classifieds, and at goldprospectorspace.com every Sunday night at 7:30 Eastern Time. Tune in to Prospectors Radio, the talk show for gold prospectors and treasure hunters. Goldprospectorspace.com is a social network with thousands of members, and everything you need is at goldprospectorspace.com. Sign up today and get connected to others who share your love of gold and gold prospecting. Let the treasure hunt begin at goldprospectorspace.com. goldprospectorspace.com.
All right, everybody, we're back with our very special guest tonight, Mr. Kevin Hoagland.
And there was no answer.
Okay.
I thought I'd give it a try.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah. So, if I'd been able to get to a quartz site, I would have been able to see the machine and so on like that, but I just didn't have the opportunity. So it just didn't happen that way.
Well, somebody asked about, what the heck where'd it go? The CTX 3030.
Yeah.
What
about it?
They just said any news on the new CTX 3030.
Not that I know of. It's amazing. Everybody ends the life of a machine after a period of time, and a lot of times, and what I get a kick out of is if all those years that I worked for Mine Lab, we were hearing about end of life of a machine years before it was actually even discussed internally about ending a machine's life. So it's everybody thinks that there's a time scale. So is Mine Lab working on something else? Oh, of course they are. They always are.
Yeah, sure, right.
It shocks me when I think about the number of engineers that Mind Lab has, that their only job is to just sit there and think this stuff up and come up with these new designs and so on like that. I mean, I think I've shared it here before when my first trip to Mind Lab after Kodan had purchased the company was just amazing, because there was just this whole floor, this entire floor above this massive warehouse that was just all these boffins, that geeks, all these, all the engineering guys.
Mm-hmm.
And all they do is just they hear something or they think about something, and then they just start making it happen.
Right.
We've all, I think, when you saw that flyer that came out, it said Geosense. Okay. Geosense, to me, that what that says to me is that it's a different new type of ground balancing, or a different type of ground balancing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know anything about it yet. And I, believe me, you know what? When all the information comes out on that machine, I'll call in.
Okay.
And I'll let you guys know everything that that is out there that we can that's out there.
That's cool.
It sucks, but like I said, there was a guy that had a YouTube channel that lived in Australia that actually, I think he called it the 6,000 channel or something like that. So this guy was having these ideas and was talking about this stuff months and months and months in advance, almost a year in advance. But so I'm not going to say it was the greatest. It was probably, like almost everything, it was a horribly kept secret. But now that they've announced it, and people have actually had it in their hands and looked at it, until they're ready to throw out the information, I don't think you're going to see any.
True.
So in the meantime, I'm just out there swinging my Gold Monster and swinging my XP Oryx and my GPZ 7000 and having fun finding gold.
You picked
up my old Gold Bug 2 the other day and just had a blast with that, and popped a couple of nice little tiny pieces and just
see.
Yeah.
Now, do you like your Gold Monster, Kevin?
I love my Gold Monster.
You like that one?
And this is the one thing that I always talk about, and I think I've talked about it here more than once.
Mm-hmm.
When the Gold Monster first got into my hands and I wrote that field test for that machine, I was not impressed. I was not impressed, because the idea of having a machine that was silent hunting, because I'm so dependent upon my threshold, I had to have that threshold and all these other things. That I started playing around with sensitivity. I started doing all these other things to make the machine do what I wanted the machine to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it found gold. I found gold with the machine right off the bat, and it was okay. But I didn't have that control that I felt like I have to have, like with my old whites and my Gold Monsters my whites and my Gold Bugs and all of those different machines. And then I got a phone call from one of the guys in Australia, and he just simply said, look, turn it on, ground balance it, put it in the right sensitivity, ground balance it, and go hunt. Don't do anything else. So two editions of the magazine later, I wrote another 2,000 word article, field test and it started out as, when I'm wrong, and I'll admit it. And I was absolutely wrong.
No.
And people still, the Gold Monster is a phenomenally good machine.
Mm-hmm.
If you will take the time to set it up properly, which means ground balance it properly. It's, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a good machine. And that machine has been a gateway machine for tens of thousands of people. And I love it for that, because I've talked to so many people that had bought a metal detector 15, 20, 25 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so complicated, and it was this or it was that. And they, it went in the shovel, it went into the closet, they got rid of it, they, whatever.
I know.
And then they get their hands on a Gold Monster for a little while, and that's brought them back into detecting. And now they're understanding what they were missing
Right.
That was a little odd. Is Scott okay?
What was the accident? What happened?
Oh, I'm still here.
Yeah, I call the Goat Monster plug and play. It's just so easy, you know.
Yeah.
I love mine.
Yeah, and even the 7000 for everything that the Z7000 is, and a lot of people are scared of it because, well, first off, it's got such a big price tag on it, but the simplicity of using that machine is absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's where you can expand with that machine and do so much more. And it's like the Z7000 and the Gold Monster, to me, the biggest mistake that people make with that machine is ground balancing it properly. You don't just I'm sorry?
I said I have a question for you.
Sure.
I know a lot of people, you keep talking about ground balancing.
Yep.
And there's probably people out there that really doesn't understand or have a clue what the heck you're talking about.
Okay, you know what? You're absolutely right. And
is there any easy way that you can explain it without going into like a 2-hour affair? Or
sure.
Okay.
How about one sentence?
Like for Scott.
Here, I can give you ground balancing in one sentence.
Okay.
The process of ground balancing is making the mineralization and the ground underneath the coil disappear.
Right. That's why
That's it.
Before. Yes.
And that's, and that's the one thing. And I think every time we get into the conversations about ground balancing, that's one of the things that I talk about is that, or when we get into the detecting discussions. So depending upon the type of machine that you have, if you've got like a manual ground balance, then you're going to have to remember it's when you ground balance that detector right here, it only remembers right here. If I move it over here, it still only remembers this spot.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's to me, that was one of the magical things about machines like the Gold Bug and the old White's Gold Masters is that you had that ability to tune it and I would swing it and I would pump it up and down a couple of times and see if it was even out of ground balance a little bit and then bring it back in and just always keep that machine super tuned. And then MindLab came out with the first auto ground balancing machine. Then Tesoro came out with it right behind that. And then you had the tracking machines where no matter what you did, as you moved that machine, it was always ground tracking. Okay. And I like that, or I like it to some extent, but there's limitations to it in the old days, in the analog day. Now, in today's day and age, with the digital age, with a lot of these machines that are out there, mm-hmm. Tracking is completely different than what it used to be. Because if you think about it and you're tracking and that machine's doing this, it's constantly reading the ground and you get really bad mineralization and it spikes up to here and then it comes back down. It was doing the job, but when you have those big spikes or those big drops, it's going in the analog days. It took some time for it to find its way back home.
Right.
So what you're saying, Kevin, is ground balancing is equivalent to classifying because you're getting rid of the crap that's not gold.
Absolutely. That's a great analogy when you want to put it across like that. Ground balancing is making it's making everything else in the ground disappear to the very best of its ability.
Right.
So am I going to get rid of all the magnetite? No, probably not. It's called a hot rock. I can't get really, sometimes I can't get rid of all of those. And you can't get rid of those when you're running a sluice box because you're going to have that when you're classifying that material. So yeah, Scott, that's actually one of the best analogies I've heard.
Well, I mean, Tim wanted to be funny and put it in Scott's terms, but I'll in Scott's terms. That's what I was hearing. You're classifying
Scott.
Ground balance is the same thing as classifying. You're getting rid of the crap you don't want to run.
Hey,
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I like the automatic mode. You just take the metal detector and you bounce it up and down, around in the, couple of foot area, and it just targets everything out.
Yeah, and see that's the big thing with today's ground balancing on machines like the Gold Monster and like on the GPZ 7000. You know, I can't tell you anything about the 6000. I don't know if you know if you're going to have to eat a bunch of ground with it or give it a bunch of ground so it can sit there and really have a good look at it. But like you just said with the Gold Monster, you start in that one spot, and then you start making that spiral out because that 32-bit processor or whatever, 32-bit processor that's in there is eating up all that ground, and it's creating averages, and it's creating everything else. It's putting in a different screen into the classifier to break that down even further. There you go, Scott. Shout out to you, man.
There you go.
That one's just for you.
I got another thing to ask you, because I have a lot of people out here.
Uh-huh.
They love to hunt where the power lines were laid. But I keep telling them, if you got a metal detector under 3-phase power lines or 4-phase power lines, is it going to be effective?
Yes and no. Pulse induction machines will absolutely do that better than anything else. Pulse induction machines with double D coils and an AI coil. Coiltech changed the whole world years ago when they came out with a coil called the AI. And the AI coil was a coil that you could put onto your MineLab. It was retro to, you could put it on just about any of the MineLab pulse induction machines, which meant that it also fit the White's TDI, and you could go under power lines because and this is the way it was described to me, and I don't know if this is correct. If you take a standard double D, you've got energy going into the ground like this, and when you put it into the AI, it was doing this. So when you put that AI coil on it, it actually kept that energy away from it, and it allowed it to be worked on the power lines. Now, I will tell you that absolutely, truly worked 100%. Did I get the same depth out of that machine that I would have gotten 100 yards over with a different coil on it? Absolutely not. But if I'm working in an area that I've never been able to work in the past, I'm going to be pulling out that gold I was pulling out that gold that was at 5 and 6 inches that nobody else could ever find.
Right.
So the whole idea of removing your EMI to the very best of the very best of the machine's ability is one of the most important things that you can do. So when you turn on your gold bug, Dennis went away, but when you turn on your gold bug, your Gold Monster, the first thing that happens is it goes through that noise cancel.
Right.
So it's going through that noise canceling. What it's doing is it's reading the EMI around it, and it's lessening the effect of that EMI. And you could do that automatically. Sometimes you could do that manually with some of the drifting, the frequency drifting that you could do on some of the other detectors by being able to turn that knob and just kind of drift that frequency a little bit. You were removing EMI of your other machines and so on like that, but not necessarily everything. So,
okay.
And you know what? Here's go ahead.
We had a question in the chat room. What do you think of the Equinox 800?
I love the Equinox 800. I'm not a coin and relic guy.
Mm-hmm.
But when I do want to go coin and relic hunting, it's sitting right there. It's over in the corner. The Equinox is another one of those entry level that I don't even call it an entry level machine at this point. It's a full powered, full feature machine using the new multi IQ, the new multi IQ of using different frequencies. And I've always talked about frequencies. Higher the frequency, closer to the ground. Lower the frequency, deeper the ground it goes to find larger, more conductive targets. High frequency, closer to the surface to find small targets. That's just the physics of it. But by using that multi IQ and anything that's using multiple frequency, and I'm not just going to say Mind Lab, but anything that's using that multiple frequency has that ability to be able to look at targets a little bit differently. It looks at the ground, it looks at the targets differently than just a single frequency.
So it's more made good for what it's made for.
Yeah, made more good for what it's made for. Yeah. And then when you really go back on the history of that, Mind Lab, Whites in the beginning were the two companies in the analog world that had pretty much multiple frequency machines. Mind Lab started with the Sovereign, which was called their BBS technology, which was 17 frequencies, and then they came out with the original Explorer, which was 28 frequencies, between 1.5 and 100 kilohertz, and then Whites with the DFX, and then ultimately moving onto some other machines, and now just about everybody has a multi-frequency detector out there. I've used a couple of them, and I like them. And I'm not going to say that I prefer. I'm just going to say I love my Equinox, and it's the one that I have right now. But if I put another, if somebody walked up to me and said, "Look, try this out," and I went out and I used it, and it was as good, if not better, then that's going to be sitting in the corner also.
Right.
I've got tools in my toolbox. I don't have a detector. There are tools in my toolbox.
Right.
Which coil, Kevin? I want to know which of the two coils do you normally run on your Mind Lab Monster?
6-inch. I've never taken it off. Actually, I put the 10-inch on for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Took it off, put the 6-inch coil on it, and it's never come off. It's never been off that machine. I honestly don't even know where my 10-inch coil is.
I was gonna say I still have that on my Gold Bug.
Yeah,
small one.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My Gold Bug, both my Gold Bug and my Gold Bug 2, has that little itty bitty 6-inch elliptical coil on it.
Now you really don't do a lot of relic hunting, do you, Kevin?
I don't. I'm not really in the country for it.
Right.
But when I look, every time I go back east, I take my tools to go relic hunting. I'm not gonna show up with my Gold Bug,
right?
And I'm not gonna go to DIV with a Gold Bug. I'm gonna take a machine that I have the power and I have that ability to work through those targets. But I also laugh because Gary Blackwell, who is a avid detectorist, and he's one of the I believe he's one of the XP test team, and has written a lot of their white papers and so on like that. Brilliant detectorist. So he's hunting a lot of fields over in the UK and places like that, and everybody's talking about getting rid of the irons. And he did this exceptionally great video where he's standing right outside of a museum, and he talks about, you guys are out here just ignoring your irons. And he walked into this museum, and there's, thousands of these field finds that are these irons that go back centuries.
Yeah.
Absolutely centuries. Now, we don't have that in the United States. I mean, we're not going to have Saxon iron and things like that. But, I've found some things with the metal detector that were iron targets that are just amazing. Matter of fact, I was showing one off to somebody the other day. It was one of the old mine shaft, the pins that came out with the cup on it to hold a candle when you were down in the mine shaft.
Right.
And I found that with a metal detector, and I've found all sorts of cool irons.
Now, Kevin, in my way of thinking, I would always think like this: if I was going to go out and be in relic hunting, say Kentucky, Tennessee, Virginia, I want number one, I want depth, but then I want a detector that's going to pick up lead, brass, and steel.
Right. Well, the big machines, TDIs, the Mind Lab 5000s, the 7,000, those are big relic machines. I mean, and there's a lot of people that are using those because if you think about it, if you look at some of these places where they hold some of these really big hunts, these are farmlands.
Yeah.
And these places have been plowed over and over and over. And every time you do that, you're driving this stuff. Yeah. You know, and you're driving this stuff deep. And the last time I was at DIV, which is, it's a private hunt called Digging in Virginia. It was amazing because oh gosh, he's going to kill me because I can't remember his name, and I'm sure he's going to listen to this. Found a hilt to a sword. I mean, it was just the hilt and everything else to a sword. And then a few feet away from that, somebody else had found this beautiful old, I don't even remember exactly. I think it was the breastplate, but it had a plow mark on it.
Yep.
So that thing had been hit by a plow.
Wow. That's cool.
But yeah, Scott, I agree. I mean, you send me out that way. I'm not going to use discrimination because I want to be able to find everything. I don't care about discrimination.
And I always look at it this way too, because, there's woods and stuff like that that's been around for years, big trees and stuff like that. But we got to remember as gold miners, I mean, if you're a gold miner or just a metal detectorist, if you're just a metal detectorist, remember this: dirt moves all the time.
All the time. All the time.
It can bury things 3 feet deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's so true. Because look, before those fields were plowed, those old 3-ringer bullets that were sitting on the surface after a battle, they sat there on the surface for a little while. And then the first rain came, and then they started to sink, and they sank, and they sank, and they sank. And, they're just going to go on. The earth is always doing this, and it's going to cause things to go down. I did a thing for a 9th grade science class a few years ago where at the beginning of the year I shot off this 3-ounce lead nugget. So I shot off this piece of lead and then put some other, I don't remember what all I put into it, but we went in and we took a 5-gallon bucket of sand. And I set that big chunk of lead on top of it, sealed the lid on the bucket, completely sealed it, everything, and came back at the end of the school year and lit it up, and that big old chunk of lead was not on the surface anymore.
Right.
It was down about that far. And the only thing, that bucket stayed in the same place. It was moved. The only thing that was making the difference was the earth doing this every time it does this.
Wow.
So
cool. Good to know.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, it didn't get a single one of those kids interested in physics, which just my heart. Just absolutely broke my heart. It's like, oh wow, that was cool. Is it recess?
Next.
Yeah. And we got a question from Razor in the chat room. He said, if you ain't swinging, what are your other go-to gold toys?
Whatever I have in my hand at that particular time. I'm serious. I hate to be that way. Look, we've had a lot of water here in Arizona over the last week, Scott. There's a lot of places where there's some water that's running.
I don't know where they're at, but maybe they're somewhere
up north. Think about that 2 feet of stuff they got up in Prescott right now that's starting to slowly melt.
Yeah.
That's going to start finding its way down. I may have the little backpacker. I may take out the little backpacker dredge. I may just go out and put a sluice in the water. I do a lot of recirculating. I've got my Gold Buddy recirculator that I've had since Jerry was in Cordes Junction, Arizona, back in the late 80s, early 90s. I've still got that my big Gold Buddy, and I throw that in the back of the bucky, and I'll go out and I'll find the spot where I want to work that. I hate panning. That's why I'm so good at it.
Coming from the guy that says you have to learn how to pan to even find gold.
You have to.
Yeah.
You've got to know how to pan.
Don't mean
Everything you do begins and ends with a pan. But if I'm sitting on the bank and you walk over and you put a 5-gallon bucket of concentrates in front of me, and I've got a gold pan, I'm going to cuss you.
Right.
I am going to cuss you for hours.
Yeah.
But I'm really good at gold panning. I'm great at gold panning because I just hate gold panning all the time. You know.
You know how to do it. Doesn't mean you doing it.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I think I showed you guys the last time I was on that Batea pan.
Yeah.
That big man, I gotta tell you, I love that pan.
You know what's
that is a pan that I love.
Okay.
Still to this day, I've got a thing. Somebody says, "How do you find gold?" I'll throw them a gold pan. Say, "Figure it out." If they say, "Where do you find gold?" I go, "In the water, in the dirt. You gotta know where it's at. You know what? Take the green thing I just threw you because you said how. When you take it out, start testing everywhere you think it is. If you don't find it, then start testing where you think it's not. You're wrong."
That's how they can
find no help.
Yeah.
Well, that is help. You can't just it's not every time you go panning, there's not gonna be somebody saying, "Pan right here."
No.
That's not gonna happen.
You're supposed to be a mentor. You're supposed to guide people in the right direction, not just throw.
That's right, Rich. Thank you. Yeah, you're supposed to say, "Here, let me show you."
You know,
well, that's what I'm saying.
You look at an inside bend. You look at big rocks. You look at this. You look at that. You just don't say, "Study 3 places." I mean, cool.
Come on, you're a man.
If somebody says, "How do you find it?" I give them a gold pan. This is how you find it.
Well, that is.
And then if they ask me where, you know what? It could be an inside bin, but that could be an inside bin that was built 3 weeks ago, not where the gold's at. You got to do your testing.
That you gave.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, you got to do your testing. You got to get out and actually use your pan. I can't just say it's right here. It's right here. Oh, it's right here. No, you got to let them go out and figure it out for themselves.
No, you should teach them. Where would you look, Scott? What would you tell them?
Well, if I was going to look.
Yeah, if they said, "Well, show me where I should look, Scott."
I would say on an inside. I know. Listen, this is the thing. I would say on an inside bin, but is this inside bin built out the last 2 years and there's nothing there? And you got to go 45 yards off of the water to get to it? Well, if you're going to figure it out, you need to do your testing. You got to pan it. You can't tell somebody where the gold is. They have to go out and finally figure out where it is and how it lies there.
Yes, Scott.
Well, nobody threw me a freaking bone.
Oh, that's not our fault. What?
Man, he is hating on the old timers right now, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's like, wow, he's just like, damn, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't take you out earlier. You know,
I'm just saying.
Kevin,
Scott. But Scott, I will say something.
Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Rich. Say it again.
I said you had this guy at a GPAA show instructing people and teaching people in front of everybody, and now he says this.
He's like,
"Here."
"Here."
Think about that.
Now wait a minute.
Well,
I wasn't instructing anybody. I was telling a story.
Yeah, Scott actually did a really job, and I enjoy. And Scott is welcome to any show that he ever wants to come to. And I will make sure that he has a spot as a speaker. We may have to do something about the hula girl under his mouth, but that's beside the but you know, one of the things, and there was one of the shows that you guys were that Scott was talking about it, and it was funny because when he was talking about it, I just submitted a huge article about doing your testing, doing your sampling, and that's what Scott spent a lot of time doing over the summer or over the fall and so on like that, on where he's working. And then, you know, finding those areas and finding the trend, because, you know, we're everybody just said inside bin. Well, that's a great way to think about it. And Scott's like, well, was that bin there 3 weeks ago? And if it's a high water, if it's a high water, is that bin even real? You know,
Right.
what is there a big boulder that changed that water that created this that it really doesn't have anything to do with this? So testing and sampling is an absolute must. And I've done some videos on it. I've done some podcasts on it about if you find an old sandbar, and I'll just use a sandbar or something, but it doesn't matter if it's a sandbar or a spot out in the middle of the desert or a spot out in the middle of a forest that you suspect that there's gold. You do a little testing and sampling because all you want to do is prove the presence of gold.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm out there and I prove that there's 5 pieces of gold and 5 little tiny specks of pieces of gold in my pan, okay, I know that there's gold. Now I have to take it to that next level and do the testing and doing the sampling. And if you're working a bar, a sandbar or something like that, start at the bank and go to the edge of the sandbar.
Yep.
Dig down, do your east, and I'm just going to say that it's a north-south, do your east-west all the way across. And you go from 3 pieces, 3 specks, 5 specks, 7 specks, 3 pieces, 5 pieces, 9 pieces, and then it starts going back down the specks. I've got that spot this way.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to take the time to look. I'm not even going to start digging. I'm going to look at how that material ran through there. I'm going to look up. I'm going to look at the trees. I'm going to look at the rocks. I'm going to look at the boulders, and I'm going to pick that direction. I'm going to start doing my testing north and south. And that's what makes the difference between having specks in a pan and recovering dollars per yard.
Yep.
And that's what it's about, doing your testing, doing your sampling, learning about that. And it's so, it sounds time consuming. Yeah, it is time consuming.
It is. Yeah.
But
it
when
is
you
way
walk,
time consuming.
yeah, but when you walk away, when you spend an hour or two doing some of that testing and sampling, and instead of just coming home with 20 or 30 specks in a pan, you're coming home with a gram and a half, 2 grams or whatever, by just being very particular and taking the time to learn how to trend, then you're doing great. I mean, look, Scott, you're doing good. You were doing good. I guess you were still doing good on your dry washing, but
Yeah,
you didn't go out there. Yeah. I mean, you didn't go out there and just start shoveling material into your dry washer. You went out, you tested, you sampled till you found that spot, and then you trended that spot to where you stayed in the pay layer.
Yeah.
So it wasn't specs per a pan, it was dollars per yard.
And you know what? I'm just going to add on to this by what Kevin's saying is because I hate going where you think it's in a horseshoe shape and you want to dig in that horseshoe shape and it makes one straight line and disappears.
Yep.
It will upset you regardless of what you think. You're going to dig 4 or 5 yards of dirt, find out where did the gold go? Well,
Right.
it disappeared.
Right.
Man, you got to do your testing. You got to do your testing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's worth every minute of it because, at the end of the day, if I'm staying on the gold, if I'm following a trend and I'm staying on the gold and I'm getting 50 let's just call it 50 pieces per pan, but I'm constantly doing that as I'm moving forward or as I'm moving back, I you know what? I'll take that all day long.
Yep.
Instead of doing 50, 50, 55, 3, 7. If that happens to you, back up, you figure out what happened. Because gold is not static. Gold is not static at all. It's dynamic.
Yeah, it could have took a hard turn.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been an old wash. It could before that was creek. It could have took an old wash.
Yeah.
To the right.
Yeah. Or out in the desert out there out there by where the Red Cloud is. There was an old car and an old refrigerator sitting out there, and the refrigerator was about half buried. A huge, massive flood came through there, and somebody was out there, and they after it settled down, and they looked at what the refrigerator being buried there had done, and the way that it was moving water, and they went down about 75, 100 feet, following where that material was being moved around all of that, and they got into a nice little pocket of gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice build-up area.
Yeah. The ground, look, gold doesn't lie. Gold doesn't lie. It just tells you, and you just have to know how to ask the right questions.
Yeah, right. I'm I'm following you.
And that's why, that's why your education is so important on this. And a blatant pitch for Chris Ralph's book, Fistful of Gold. I'm glad that it's back in. I'm glad that they were able to get more copies of it back out. It's one of the best books that's ever written for any level of somebody getting into prospecting.
Now, Kevin, in your experience, I know you got places you've metal detected, but I mean, just from the ones that are kind of loose on the rules, do you think Nevada or Arizona, which one do you give tops to?
For what, detecting?
Yeah.
Oh, Arizona.
You like Arizona better than Nevada?
Yeah.
Okay.
And believe me, this comes from a guy that spent a lot of time up on Jungle Road and all that area out there through Winnemucca, all through that area. I've found a lot of gold. I've found a lot of gold in Nevada over the years. But I just, for some reason, I just keep coming. I have to pick Arizona.
Cool.
That's your fave. Okay. Yeah. That's cool.
All right.
Now, Kevin, you're here on a perfect night.
Uh-oh.
We started a new segment on the show.
Oh no.
And since you're here, you get to play along.
Oh, good. Game show. Do I need to go get on a silly hat or something stupid like that? Or
no?
Okay.
This and you'll probably be pretty. You'll probably be pretty good at this.
I was going to say, why you want to borrow Manny's?
We now play our version of "Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?"
Oh God. Oh, I'm in trouble. Please, if you're going to ask me a question, make it a physics question, please.
Physics question.
They're just random fifth grader questions.
All right.
Meant to stump.
Are we ready?
Yeah, we'll go, and Rich will read the questions off, and everybody answer one at a time. Okay. All right, go ahead, Rich.
What does it mean to radiate?
Kevin, you're first.
A person to radiate?
What does it mean to radiate? Or ADIATE? Radiate.
Radiate.
Guess it would be
expulsion of energy.
Scott.
I'm giving it right where Kevin said, because that's all you can do.
You can't just go agreeing with Kevin.
No, it is. It's like if you radiate something, it's like you take something to the next level. You elevate it. You make it.
You gotta ask Scott first.
Okay.
You gotta speak fifth grade language, not
right. Answer it like a fifth grader.
Answer it like a fifth grader.
What does it mean to read?
What does it mean to radiate?
Throw off heat.
That's where I would be. Scott?
Just saying, if you want to radiate something, you elevate it to the next level. You make it, bam.
Dennis?
That's radiating stuff.
Dennis, any idea?
I was thinking like to show joy or something, to I don't know.
Same thing.
Nitrogen.
Here's your answer. It says spin, kill, or glow.
Spin, kill, or glow.
That's
okay, glow is what we're talking about.
Yeah, kind of glowing. You're kind of
spin.
Yeah.
Excitement.
Okay.
If I walk up and go like this, I'm pretty happy.
Man, that's a nugget face right there. That was I found a nugget face right there.
I know, right?
Okay, Rich. Round 2.
All right. What is an antonym for beautiful?
What is an antonym for beautiful?
Yeah, they listed 3.
Scott, you're first.
Antonym?
What's an antonym for beautiful?
For beautiful. Nice.
All right. Scott says nice. Kevin?
Ugly.
Dennis?
Yeah, I would have to say ugly. I mean, that's
I'd say pretty.
Well, you got two ding, 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 dings. You got pretty, gorgeous, and ugly.
Me and Kevin and Dennis. Nitrogen, Scott.
I'm just saying nice. I was just keeping it cool. I don't know.
All right.
All right, third question. What is the name of the most famous English playwright?
Oh, gosh. We're all doomed.
Wait, say that again.
What is the name of the most famous English playwright?
Van Gogh.
It's not going to be the obvious. It's not. I don't think it's going to be the obvious. I don't.
No,
think
I just did that for Tim's thing.
Kevin?
What is
I-
the famous?
To me, it's. I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is Shakespeare, William
That's what I
Shakespeare,
say.
Okay.
but I don't know. To me, that's almost too obvious.
Yeah.
But fifth grader, remember. So, yeah.
Yeah, Shakespeare.
Okay. I got nothing because Kevin already got it right.
Yeah, it's William Shakespeare.
Sure, I was gonna say.
Is it really? Okay.
it'd
I
have to be.
honestly expected that to be something else because that's so obvious.
Yeah.
Fifth grader. So that's what we got to keep in mind.
You might know this one.
Okay.
Who is the author of the 1960 novel about social and racial inequity, To Kill a Mockingbird?
Oh crap! I'm out. I didn't even read that book in school.
Oh, that's Edgar Allan Poe?
1960s.
Or am I wrong?
Kill
Nitrogen.
a Mockingbird.
I don't know. I did not read that science. I did not read that assignment in school. Sorry.
Was that Heller? Was it Heller?
Helen Keller.
no,
Joseph Heller? Was it?
someone named Lee,
Yep.
if I remember right.
Dennis, are you Googling stuff?
No?
Who was it?
Who
The
was it?
answer is Harper Lee.
Harper?
Wow.
Yeah.
Harper Lee.
Great movie.
Dennis,
Never read the book. Great movie. Hell, I read the Cliff Notes even.
See, I didn't even get those.
all right, Dennis
Back
got
then,
the,
back then when we had to read that book, I was like, I'm not reading that.
Dennis, you're answering first this time, so Paula can't give you the answer.
Paula's not even in the room.
Yeah, ain't no way you knew that answer.
Quit Googling.
Why he looked that way? Because he
Uh-huh.
wasn't in the room.
Rich?
I'm looking.
right.
Well, I already went through a lot of these, so
Yeah, try not to give us one that they remember.
From fifth grade.
oh, you want one?
Yeah, you got
You
one?
want one?
Yeah.
We already did.
Well, yeah.
What force? Huh?
Yeah, go for it.
What force pulls objects towards Earth's core
Gravity.
and keeps humans from floating into the sky?
Gravity.
Nitrogen.
Nitrogen. It's gravity.
Yeah. It's gravity this time, Scott. You got it right. Ding, ding,
What
ding,
you
ding,
said,
ding.
what force pulls on the gravity?
You better get it right after all the ribbon he got.
Hey, I'm just going to tell you guys this. If you throw enough rocks, you will learn what gravity really means.
Yeah, Newton had it really easy. I mean, the dude got hit in the head with an apple.
Yeah.
You can't say you've been hit in the head till you've had a chunk of quartz come off the top of a sidewall fault and nail you right on your hard hat and drive your hard hat through the suspension and all the way into the top of your head. And that little thing where they mold it, where you get that little thing that's on the inside, when you have that on the top of your head for about 8 freaking months afterwards.
That's all I got for tonight, guys.
All right. Kevin, is that the mommy daddy button?
Yeah, that's oh, I had an M. Shaw certified hard hat. M certified hard hat. Had a freaking flinger come off of a hanging wall fault. Hit me square on the head, completely compressed, and like destroyed the suspension. and put the hat all the way down. I mean, the brim of the, you know how hard how high they stood up. The hard hat was like right here. Pulled the damn thing off, and the blood's running down all sides since I'm still bald, and Scott's lost it. Oh.
That's just wrong.
Yeah, but that little button was there for about 8 months.
When it's over, there's actually a print of M. Shaw in your head from the top of the helmet inside.
It was Shaw M reversed.
That's funny as hell. Just use my head as an ink stamp.
Did you pass your test? Check it out.
Certified, baby.
Goodness gracious.
Oh my God.
Oh, that hurts.
You guys ain't right.
Oh, but you know what? I do have one of the coolest hard hats in the world. I gotta show you guys this one hard hat. This is like the coolest hard hat in the world.
It better not be orange.
Right.
No, it's not orange.
I bet it's. Oh, what is that? A 5-gallon bucket? Oh wait, let me see.
Hold on. Never mind. I'll be back to it in a second.
That's a foreman's hat. What are you doing?
I got my Green Bay Packer hard helmet.
I don't have hard hats no more. Days are done. I hate hard hats.
I'll probably have to do this a little bit differently because that doesn't seem to work.
You'll probably just have to put it on. Okay.
Yeah, that's a foreman's helmet.
But there's something on it.
Okay.
I don't know. All I see is a little bitty window. I see Tim's in a great big window right now.
Oh wait, I think it's a glow in the dark one. Is that what?
Oh yeah, there it is.
Oh,
Sweet.
Come on.
yeah.
That is cool. I like that one.
That's so good. You can't even just.
That is
Right.
Yeah, that is cool.
awesome hard hat.
Glow in the dark. Yes.
Yeah, you look like a glowworm out there at night, just bobbing around.
Yeah.
Scott needs one of them.
Yeah, it's kind of trippy.
That is cool. That's the coolest.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
definitely.
of course, me like a dummy, one time I wanted to make it really, really glow, so I set it right next to a halogen light. It melted. I actually think I still have that one around. But that's an M. Shaw certified hard hat as well.
The glow in the dark one.
Wild.
Yeah, the glow in the dark one.
That's cool. I've never
That
seen
is
a glow in the
wild.
dark hard hat in my
What
life.
man? I can't remember. What do they call that? God dang it!
What?
They call that something, that the glow in the dark stuff. There's a name for it.
Luminescent.
Is that what it is? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
Are you talking about the generalization of glowing in the dark as luminance or illumination
Right.
or luminous?
Right.
But
But
if you're
there's
talking about the particular chemical that causes it, I don't know.
Oh.
Well, I mean, they didn't call it luminescent back in the day, like when kids had glow in the dark toys. It was something else
Oh.
because of how it was made or what was put into it. But I mean, it's probably different now because of the rules we have.
Yeah.
But
I think I know what you're talking about. Oh.
Other words for luminescence.
Element. Shoot.
Oh.
Okay, I'm doing this where everybody can see me.
Okay.
Fluorescence
Fluorescent.
Okay, there we go. Fluorescence.
Okay. Fluorescent. Okay.
or incandescence.
Okay, that's the word I couldn't figure. I was thinking element something.
Now, fluorescence, I would imagine. Yeah, because you talked about having, back when we were kids, we had our black lights, we had our fluorescent lights.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even had it on posters.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always. Yeah. Always.
Yeah, I mean, how many of us had the old 3-masted sailing ship that was on the felt and the black felt, and you flipped on the black light and it just glowed, and
Or the
Oh, that's right. None of you guys are as old as I am.
wait a minute. Hey, Kevin, what
My
about
brother had one.
Kevin? What about the keep on trucking guy with his thumb out?
Oh, dude. Yeah, oh, absolutely. All right, so I'm now. See, I could really pick on Scott right now. I wish it'd be Shad in here instead of Scott, so I could really like pick on him really bad. But all right, how many of you guys had the Farrah Fawcett poster?
I still got one. She's got flowing hair.
Okay. Let me
I
think.
knew you'd love that. I knew you'd love that.
Actually, I was waving bye to Rich. I don't have a Farrah Fawcett poster.
You don't have a Farrah Fawcett?
Oh.
You didn't have one, Dennis, growing up?
No.
No.
Dennis had the Scott Baio.
You actually had to order that poster, by the way.
Dennis had the Scott Baio poster.
You know what? I want everybody out there in Radio Land to hear this. You actually had to order that poster to get that poster. It didn't come in a magazine. Didn't come in a Cracker Jack box. You had to order that poster.
Farrah Fawcett?
Yeah.
Well, you could buy it at Kmart.
Yeah. Yeah, you could buy it at Spencer Gifts. You could buy it at Kmart. You just, you walked up to the old poster rack and you went through all the posters.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Farrah Fawcett was F7. So you just reach out, pull out the F7, and you had Farrah Fawcett.
And you better look and make sure it was, because you might end up with something with kittens.
Scott Baio.
You'd have Ferret Jessup. There's 3 ferrets looking at you with a bone in their mouth or something.
Yeah.
I had gift stuff.
Oh my God! Are we going to talk about Prospector? Or are we going to sit here and talk about Scott's dreams?
Well, in my dreams, I didn't raise up Farrah Fawcett.
You didn't dream about Farrah Fawcett?
Are you crazy?
What'd you dream about?
Dude, there was nothing about dreaming. It was just about having a poster.
Yeah, that chick was a has-been by the time I got old enough.
Well, yeah, maybe by the time you got old enough. Uh-huh.
That's right. I keep forgetting Scott is much younger than most of us.
Yeah, only in heart.
Scott, how old are you again? I
don't know.
45?
40.
45?
46 or 47. I'd have to count it up again.
6 or 47. Look at your driver's license.
Hey.
Right, Dennis?
Okay, Lisa's yelling 47. So there you go.
Scott's the baby.
I'm 1 year away from the double nickel.
Yeah, you're getting up there too.
54.
We gotta start getting you a cane.
Kevin 59.
I'm rolling up 60 here in a couple of months.
I'll be 59 in August. Yeah. Me and you's the old guys here.
And you know what's funny as hell? You and I are the old guys in this room, but look at these other two.
Yeah, no.
You and I are going to live forever compared to these guys.
I think so.
Hey, you know what though, Kevin? At least we can say this is all natural color right here.
This ain't.
How's this, baby? This is all natural.
This is.
And I'll just put it like this. I was dating girls. I was dating girls older than you when I was in high school. So quit it.
Dude, that I wouldn't have shared that for 100 years.
I think I would have just kept that one to myself too.
Hey, it's like,
Dennis,
it's like Matthew McConaughey had said. They stay the same age. I just get older.
Oh,
wait a minute.
Dennis, I will say I'm proud of this gray. But when I started losing my hair, I started losing my hair when I was in my early 20s. And I started turning gray when I was in my early 20s. And all I wanted to do was have a race to where I got gray before I got bald.
Yeah.
And that didn't work.
The only thing that turns gray on me is my beard. My hair is fine. It's my beard. Always turns gray. I can't stand it. Makes me nuts. For men.
I got a bad feeling if I grabbed the old Grecian formula and started changing the color of my beard, few people might notice that.
Yeah, they've noticed.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it.
Nah.
To see Scott change his to like a frosty blonde.
Mine,
I
it
think-
is
I
what
think
it
it-
is, man. It don't change for nothing. I don't care.
Well, I tell you
Hey, Ian.
how white or gray mine's got. If you go back and look at my videos I started when I started at YouTube, I used to have a red beard.
Yeah.
So it's
So did I.
It's red.
colored this quick.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And if my beard grows in, I've got solid red right in through here, right in
Yeah,
through here, and then the gray, and then red. Well, reddish gray, not solid red anymore, but yeah.
Reddish gray.
I can honestly say when I started doing videos, I'm still just as handsome as when I started.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
Crap's getting deep now, boys.
So we bought us a new 3-ton truck to be able to haul some material.
Gotta haul Scott's crap out of here.
Got a bigger backhoe. Still don't have a place to put it.
Yeah. There's somebody giving us a call. Let's see who it is. All right. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Howdy, Tim Grimes. This is Ray up here in Juneau.
I knew it was you. What you doing, man?
I just figured I'd call in and tell old Kevin Hoagland thank you for stopping in on our show here at Gold Prospector Space. And wanted to reach out to him and see, if he could keep on passing the word that, this is a go-to place for all us guys that just want good information about mining.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I actually end up, because I'm doing my podcast, but I don't do anything live, and I really don't want to do anything live. But this is the one that gets promoted. Always has been.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, that's why I made myself an honorary crony and took Dennis's hat away from him.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah. And I still have, that long sleeve Prospectors, the T-shirt.
Yeah.
Is still prominent on it's the thumbnail on one of my YouTube videos.
That's cool. See,
so
very sweet. Thank you,
and I guess I'll go one more thing while we're at it. You're talking about going bald headed and getting gray beard. Well, with the COVID pounds, you're getting closer and closer to being Santa Claus. So there's Dayton be proud of you.
Yeah. Tim swallowed wrong.
Kevin needs to grow a big old Santa beard.
Yeah, but he wouldn't put. He wouldn't make a good Santa.
You can pull a Santa beard off, Kevin. Do you got one around?
You know what? I may actually have one.
See?
That's the funniest thing about me is I can grow a beard really fast.
Really quick.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's what happens when you go get it trimmed once a week.
It ain't right. We can't grow hair on our head, but we could grow it on our face like a weed.
Yeah, it grows. Same here. My face, my other hair takes forever to grow, but my beard, I can shave it, and just like I shave it every year to go dredging, and I've already trimmed my beard. I don't know how many times. It grows fast.
It does.
Just tell them like it is, Kevin. When you're out here in the desert, your beard growing. Your beard.
One more thing before I get off. You got any more information you need to tell us about appearing on surprise appearances on TV shows?
Oh, good question.
All kind of surprises to see on Blind Frog or whatever the heck that was.
Oh,
you got any new ones coming up?
Not that I know of. I mean, that's the thing. I just, I go out there. People, I get calls. I go out. I do them. And I do the stuff, and like I was sharing earlier, is that was a good 45-minute long conversation and all this other stuff. And what was it, all of about 30 seconds, if even that? And
exactly,
they threw it out there. I mean, look, people call me. They ask, they want some TA information. I give it to them, and then I just kind of move on.
That's what's cool.
So I never know.
It was a very.
I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not.
Oh, see that looks cool, Kevin.
Yeah, that was a month and a half long. That was a month and a half growth.
Yep. See, that's cool. That's a cool look for you, Kevin.
Yeah. Problem is I wear a CPAP machine and it really sucks because then I can't breathe.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'll just. What I'll do is I'll grow the beard back and then I'll just grow.
Tim, God bless Gold Prospector Space, and hey, Swiftwater, Get some gold, man. Get some gold. All right.
Thanks,
Come on.
Ray.
Tell him you're killing it.
Yeah, tell him.
Hey Ray, he just ordered 3 truckloads of gravel. He'll be out there panning all that before he lays it out in the yard.
He's gonna import it. He's gonna import it from the Biffles property. All right, everybody.
Take
God
care,
bless you.
Ray. Thanks, buddy.
Bye, Ray.
See you, Ray.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, that's
Oh God, that's funny.
Scott.
No, I actually asked the guy. I said, "Where's the gravel coming from?" When he told me, I was like, "Yeah, crap."
You're not gonna, Scott. You're not gonna run it through a trauma first.
Oh, I know where it's coming from. It's not going to do any. You can't do it.
Okay.
It's not. It ain't the right gravel. It ain't the right place. They're not getting it from the creeks.
Darn. Oh well.
That's funny.
But it's gravel.
It's gravel.
It's gravel.
I know.
Well, Kevin, this has been fun, like always. It's always
a blast.
It's always a blast having you on here. It's always fun having somebody else pick on Scott with us. Yeah.
It's a lot.
Oh, I've been nice to Scott because I mean, unlike you guys, I actually like Scott.
Well, we like Scott too. I mean, that's just it. See, that shows how much we like him. It's the love we have for him.
Oh, sure. Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Do you want me to read some of those private messages from Dennis about Scott?
No. No.
Yeah, Dennis talks a lot, though. That's his. He's okay. He just talks a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always great though to have you here, man. We really do enjoy when you stop by and hang out with us. And we always love seeing you on TV and seeing you as much as we can. You know, so it's always nice.
Yeah. Make sure to read the article in the next magazine because I tell you what.
Okay.
The subject that it's on is something I don't really talk about very often at all.
Okay, so
maybe that's going to be the next episode. That's going to be the next issue, right?
Right. Yeah.
So maybe after that comes out, we'll have you back on. Maybe we can talk about that then a little bit.
Okay, and maybe I'll have more to talk about on the GPX 6000. Maybe I'll know something by then.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know and stuff what's good for you, and Dennis will be in contact with you. And yeah, that sounds cool. That'll be fun. That way we
I think if you can get with Debbie and stuff like that, get on here at the same time because evidently you guys are knowing about the same thing. That would be a pretty good, give us kind of an inside thing. You know what I'm saying?
I can assure you right now that Debbie knows a whole lot more than I do. I'm just like when I left Mind Lab and everything else, when I left Mind Lab left me. I've been asked to look at different things over the years and different projects, and I've been a part of little things here and there, but nothing. Look, the rumors and everything about this machine, I just take them as rumors until the day that till the day that somebody says something, and that was. For me, it was January 15th when they had that the launch meeting for the United States, and I don't even know who I know it was Europe and the United States and some others, and that's the first time that I even seen it, understood really what it was, if it was even real, and just it was really cool stuff. And really, the only thing we learned out of that was. Pretty much that flyer that came out a few days after that was pretty much all we learned about at that point.
Right.
So they're going to do a lot of training. I think they're going to have to do a lot of training. Either that or it's going to be turn it on and go, and which really doesn't surprise me either.
As a crony, man, if you can get us, we want to be the first person with information. We want to be that first group that gets that information out.
I will do what I can, brother. I will do what I can.
Cool.
I appreciate it.
Well, Kevin, you take care, brother. Stay safe and keep in touch and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. And Tim, you need to send me your phone number.
Okay.
Because I called I sent a text on the number that I had.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, gotcha.
I will do that.
3 texts later, they said, wrong number.
Dude.
All right, guys. Hey, always a blast.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm around, I just look. I love being on this show with you guys.
We
Love all you guys. You're just good, dirty ass miners, and that's what we all should be. And have fun and make it happen.
That's right.
May our paths cross sometime.
That's right.
Absolutely.
All right,
So
brother.
from my side, see you guys.
Bye, Kevin.
Take care,
Thanks,
Kev.
Kevin.
All right.
All right. Bye, man. Always cool when Kevin's here. Yeah. Yeah, we lost Rich. Rich had to go pick his wife up because the weather's real bad on their way too. So
Yeah.
So mid show, but
that's Chad and Kathleen brought that back.
Yeah, they should have left that down there.
They showed up here and all crap broke loose, and when they left, yeah, it left too. So
it's crazy. Crazy snow. But yeah, that was fun. You know. That was always fun when Kevin stops by. Yeah.
Yes.
Always a blast. We enjoy having Kevin here all the time.
Now I come in later if you guys hit the pinpoints, metal prices, all that good shit.
No, we didn't do it. You want to do them? Go ahead.
Hang on. Yeah, I'll hang on. Let me cut this out here.
I'm gonna say happy birthdays, anybody, real quick too.
Do it, Dennis. Do it.
Go ahead, Dan. Let you do it, Dan.
Well, I'll do the singing while someone looks it up while he's looking up gold prices.
Oh,
damn, you got to do that, bro.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you.
The thing about the Home and Auto Bundle from Progressive is that by now you've heard a lot.
What's that?
From Progressive, we don't even need the words Home and Auto Bundle anymore to tell you that you could save big with the ring-tailed lemur from Progressive, or that every hot peach cobbler comes with round-the-clock service and protection. And that's
Happy birthday to you.
Try
Happy birthday to you.
Every time I go to the main page, it starts to play her automatically. And
yeah, I thought it was me. I was like, what is going on?
So I'm gonna try one more time. Jeez Louise. All right, hold on. See if we can get away with this.
You ready to hit the volume button?
Okay. All right. So far, so good. Okay. Jeez. Yeah, that was a pain in the butt. All right. Birthdays today. First off, we got Dan C. We got Gold Digging Dude. Greg F. Jack of all trades. We got Jerry Bartish. All right. Are you kidding me? Birthdays today. First off, we got Dan C. Why is it planned? Gold Digging. There we go.
What?
All right. We got Kenneth Lopino. And we got Kevin Atkins, Phil Olson, Stan Black, Tim Bone, and Victor Perez. And tomorrow we got Becky Derby, Dave Turner, David, Doug McDowell, Fred, Jake, Jackal Jake's Mining Equipment, John Hutchinson, and 3MW, and Randy. Yes.
Okay. They're getting fancy on the names now, buddy.
Oh, Lordy. And that's the birthdays for today and tomorrow.
Happy
birthday to you guys.
Man, happy birthday. I'm not going to do no highlights on nothing.
Dude, there's like four $50 bills in there.
That Tim Bone was a funny one. I thought, oh my gosh.
Tim Bone? Let me see.
Well, the dude was one.
Which one? The dude? Yeah, let's see Tim Bone. Okay. Let's check out Tim Bone. Tim Bone is from Panyan, New York. And let me see. He just started prospecting. How did he find the site? A beginner's resource guide to prospecting for gold.
Cool.
Who referred you to the site? Bucket. And what kind of equipment do you use? Just researching for now. So let's see. When he says bucket, I wonder if he means bucket from old Bucket and Boomers. But I don't know what happened to them guys.
You know, they just quit.
He joined January 8th, 2015. Yeah, it seems like they just quit.
Yeah, Buck and Boomer just quit. I haven't seen nothing from them forever.
Me
I
neither.
don't even know what you're talking about.
You don't know who Bucket and Boomer is?
Dude,
No.
the last great video they made was Ballot to a Dry Washer. If you do not know that video, look it up. It's a cool song. The video was made great. It was awesome.
They made great videos.
Yeah.
They did.
Ballot to a dry washer.
Yeah, Ballot to a Dry Washer.
You have to look them up, Dennis. All right, and what other name?
Me, but also you.
Right here.
The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film.
What's that?
Powder donut.
What the heck is going on with this stuff?
I surrender.
Okay. Metal prices. Here we go.
Thank you, Scott.
Gold went up a big $4.50 to $1,849 and 10 cents, if that 10 cents worries you. Anyhow, silver went up a beautiful 0.46 to 27.08, folks. It's still keeping up there.
27?
Yeah, 27. It's still staying there.
Nice.
It's hanging. It's hanging. Platinum stayed unch at 1066. That means it didn't move, guys. For you don't know what unch means. Palladium. Guess what, folks? That took a kidney punch.
Oh.
At minus $102.
Oh wow, that is a big.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's down to $2,160.
Okay. Dang.
Rhodium. Here's a kidney punch for you and made you feel good. Plus 500.
Oh.
And what I'm reading right now, it says $19,250.
Okay. I haven't got no prices, so guess what? Go with that.
$19,050. It says up $500. Do you know how? Do you know how much it's gonna? Dude, to go up $500. Somebody's got major money pushing around.
I think the biggest thing to invest in right now is definitely silver, because a lot of the solar panel stuff that's going in now, and it's going in, I'm telling you, silver's going to skyrocket.
Well, the time to invest in silver was like a year ago, but
well, right now, because I'm telling you, it's going to jump like you've never seen it jump. Even buying right now at the price it is a really good investment. I believe we're going to see close to $100 an ounce on silver.
And remember, folks, here at GPS Gold Prospector Space Radio, we do not induce or tell you what to do with your money. So if you do
That's
it,
right.
It's on your own accord.
That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, just Dennis's personal opinion. That's right. All right. On that note, let's go ahead and just wrap it up. We want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Don't forget Tuesday night hangouts with Ed, Justin, Dano, and the Treasure Vixens every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock over there on their YouTube channel. Tuesday night hangouts. So be sure and check them out if you can. I'm sure they'd appreciate it. And like I said, once again, we want to thank Kevin Hoagland for hanging out with us.
Yeah, it was a fun
guys
time.
stopping in and listening to the show. Scott, Dennis, Rich, thank you guys. And
Good night, Gold Diggers. We love you.
yeah, guess we're out of here.
Not everyone.
Have a great week, everybody. See ya.
Be sure to tune in next Sunday at 7:30 for another great show. For updates and more info, please go to www.prospect